This is the Lydian spin, and we're not going to stop. But we would appreciate any help we can get because, look, our mouths do not run on gas and air alone, occasionally food and drink. So if you wouldn't mind contributing, no contribution, too large or too small, because we're just going to keep going whether or not you help us out. Your gain, your loss.
The PayPal is paypal.me/TSD1975. That's paypal.me/TSD1975.
It would help. We're going to keep going. We don't like to beg, and certainly we're not, but actually, it's a fucking command. Take it or leave it. Thank you. This is the Lydian Spin. This is the Lydian Spin with Lydia Lunch and Tim Dahl. How are you, my friend?
Well, I'm mixed. I have to be honest. I mean, I tend to be an optimist, but yeah, the global stage right now is
You know what?
oh no, this fucking Greenland shit's a lot of
It
things
ain't
are
gonna
pissing me off.
happen. It's nonsense. It's just a
I don't
diversion.
know. I don't
No,
know.
it's not gonna. It's a diversion. It ain't gonna happen.
Really?
And by the
Okay.
way, that's why I just decided today, because I'm sick of ass clownery and would-be pseudo coming fascism, as if it's ever left this planet, and pre-post and endless colonialization. I just thought I'd recite a playlist of the songs I think tell it like it is that were almost all written in
Yes.
the late 60s. Let's start with War. The world is a ghetto. Yeah. How
Yes.
about
That's it.
one of my favorite songs that people don't realize is a protest song? The Temptations, Ball of Confusion. That's what
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
world is today. Oh, hey, hey. Last Poets. This is madness. This is madness. Come on. And we had the joy of doing it with Umar bin Hassan a
Yes, you
few
did.
times. How about Gil Scott Heron? Not only The Revolution Begins, his LP, which home is where the hatred is, but The Bottle. Okay, very important. Marvin Gaye, come on now. Sometimes you need a little lover's rock, but still, what's going on? I
Well,
mean,
we've
people.
represented that in the past, and our yes.
All right, what about Coco Taylor? I went
Which
down
one?
to the insane
I haven't
asylum.
thought of Coco
Yeah.
Taylor in a while.
How about Curtis Mayfield?
Okay, which one?
Don't worry if there's hell below because we're all going there. Do you know that track? It's a fucking good one, Tim. And of
Maybe.
course, Town Van Zandt waiting around to die. Well, how about I love these two next songs,
Uh-oh.
both by brothers, the Chamber Brothers. Time has come today.
Yeah, well, you love that one. Yes, of
Well, and
course.
how about the Isley Brothers? You know which one I really love. For Daddy in Ohio with Machine Gun, Jimi Hendrix.
Wow,
Yeah.
machine guns.
Oh,
Classic.
I
It's a
mean,
It's a classic.
I
Well,
mean, I would put in,
we've done the list before. I mean, there's a
I would put
long
in
list.
Fortunate Son, Creating Clearwater Revival. Check it out on the Ed Sullivan Show. Very much more aggressive than I remembered. Anyway, I'm just saying, I ain't got time for the bullshit of these politics, which is just circular thought coming out of the mouth and ass of an asshole. The dumbest Congress, the most fucking boot-licking bullshitters ever. And so I think I'll
Anyhow,
just.
I got
Okay.
stories. I got stories. That's your list.
I'm gonna go dance it out. Go
Well,
ahead.
one story of protest was a guy who stabbed a KFC employee because he was protesting the KFC gravy.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
Gerald Carter stabbed James Carter. I don't think they're related, even though they share the same last name. I guess there's some advertising of some absolute disgusting looking gravy on some KFC product. And he just wasn't satisfied. He went back, he complained 3 times. And then by the third time, the whole staff was making fun of him. And he didn't take that so lightly and took out a knife and tried to murder.
well,
Murder the
I have
guy.
to say, on our last Midwest tour, I did murder maybe a quarter of a plate of biscuits and gravy because I just go in light for that kind of shit. But I had to say, even after eating just a quarter of the plate, I felt like I wanted to stab someone too. Maybe my stomach to just
So
get it out of me.
in medical news, Stanford is 65,000 person study. Um, the new AI analysis of people's sleep.
Sleep.
It's sleep patterns, and they hook all this
Uh-oh. Have
all
they
types
been
of stuff.
spying on me? Go ahead.
86% accuracy with predicting
When you're going to die?
what you're going to die from and what to look for. So, heart stuff, stroke stuff,
Tim, no, what do
dementia.
you think? What do you think I'm going to die from?
God, I don't. Why are you asking me this? I don't
Well, because
fucking
you
know.
just studied the study.
No, no. Well, that doesn't mean I am the study, and I'm not
Well, I
AI
would like
either.
to be studied by you. I'm just saying. But you know what, Tim? Come on now. Face fact. I've said it a million times.
Maybe
You'll
the,
never,
the explosion of happiness and joy. Maybe that.
you'll,
Maybe,
you'll
maybe
never
that's
find my body. When I'm ready to go, I
okay.
might just take myself out to, well, I'm not saying where, and I might just,
Well, the-
I'm
eh,
not waiting around to die. No.
anyhow, these models are they're supposedly they're going to be the kind of the future for just
Can you send me that link, please?
yeah,
I'd
yeah,
like to know if they've
for just
studied my type of sleep.
preemptive precautionary I don't know health not dealing with the sickness but dealing with the source kind of
Well, I mean, like that bull that was supposedly my father, who was never sick a day in his life until he died of a brain aneurysm.
well
Hey, I don't
well
like the thought of an instantaneous death. Not that I want to fight death forever, because if I was in a position where I was sluggish, suffering, demented, Alzheimer'd, cancer-ridden, you'll never find the body. I'll spare my
yes
friends the inconvenience. Go ahead.
all
Another
right
story.
I mean all the stories are so annoying and stuff but and this is kind of connected but it's kind of interesting since we have friends from all over the world that won't tour or come to the United States because they don't right now because of what's going on, and also just not just because of protests, but
They might
because
not get
just
in.
well, exactly. And it turns out half the artist visas going outside of this country are going to porn performers right now.
Hello.
Yeah, so
No,
so
influencers, not porn.
oh right yeah. Well these whatever. Nothing against what these people are doing, but half are going to these OnlyFans people. I mean, not musicians, none of that stuff. And the word is from the top down, like she's cute kind of thing. It's just it's just more of the same bullshit. Anyhow, Lydia, I could talk about a million hours about what my opinions on the politics, but I'd rather not. Why don't you wrap it up?
I'd like to wrap you up as my Christmas gift that has yet to be delivered to my
Ooh,
house with a nice pink bow and maybe an apple in your
you're gonna
hand.
self gift belated Christmas gift is gonna be me with a bow.
Come
Yikes.
on now. Don't
Well,
deny me.
Well, all right. If you're going to give me a bow job, we can wait till next Christmas. It doesn't have
Tim
to be
Dole, I'll give
now.
you a bow job any day that I am available to do so. I'm just saying this is the Lydian Spin with Lydia Lunch, Tim Dole, and I cannot wait for this conversation. Mishka, Shubaly. This is going to be fun. Welcome to the next year, motherfuckers. All right. This is the Lydian Spin with Lydia Lunch, Tim Dahl, and our special guest today. I've been waiting to meet him for a while. Is Mishka Shubaly, singer, songwriter, some would say a comedian, excellent storyteller, who is a good brought to us by our good friend JT Habersat, of who he's toured with, as well as many other comedians, singer, songwriter, musician, teacher of creative writing at Yale University, and somehow we have this connective tissue, which has only just been knitted together like right now. Hello,
Yeah.
Mishka.
Thanks so much for having me. It's super cool to be here with you.
If only we were actually in the same room recovering from a about two lives well and ill spent. I was listening last night to your latest record, and I have to say, Pain Management. What's the title of this latest joint?
I think the record's going to be called Nobody Wins. And
Okay. But
yeah,
Pain Management, that track just, I had to play it a few times. I loved it, I have to say. And most of your songs are about, I mean, you're kind of a present day Town Van Zandt in a way.
I will take that loaded compliment. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, Towns has definitely like been a big sort of figure in my life. Um, but
Maybe we
but
could do a cover together of Waiting Around to Die, you and me.
done, done and done. There we go. That's
I sing it at least once a month, although, I just paid for other people to die, but that's my version. And they're doing it. They're doing it.
it's funny, like listening to your voice and listening to my voice, it sounds like we're both overdue for tie-in.
I would say I got the kitty litter voice on. I get it down there in the gravel.
So so it'd be like dueling rasp. So
Yeah.
so you'd have to hard pan it left and right because otherwise, unless you want this really complex composite timbre, but then it'd be hard to separate the two. I'm already
It's
thinking
it's
about
like
that.
Lee Hazelwood and Lee Hazelwood.
Well,
Oh, I like them a lot. Oh,
I'm
that's
thinking
that's
I'm
fucking
thinking
great.
Slayer, John Hanneman and Kerry King hard pan left and right. So like two mid-range distortion guitars kind of parallel. All right.
Waiting around to die.
All right, all right.
I was, I've been Lydia. I've been listening to a bunch of your stuff the last couple weeks, like
No
while we've
wonder
been
you've
sort
been sick.
of talking about this and thinking about this, and I realized that and I should have found a clip for it, but I realized that the best analogy for your voice is that there are people who have taught crows how to speak, and there's one who speaks Spanish, and his voice is unnaturally low, and he just says like "Hola, mi chica." And it
Oh,
sounds like the
chica.
voice of the devil himself. And that, my dear, is what you sound like.
Well, it might be the devil herself. Thank you very much. And maybe a crow taught me how to speak. The difference
Did you
between me and crows is they hold grudges. I just don't have time to hold a motherfucking grudge. I just don't
did you
do.
ever hear of the band Hatebeak, which it's like a death metal band with I think a parrot is the lead singer, just going it's a split.
Hilarious.
It's a split with K9s, which is two pit bulls. Um, yeah.
It's funny.
Only you, Tim, would know this fact of ground obscurity, and I thank you for bringing that to the table. But Mishka, when we first started communicating through JT Haversack, and I tried to call you, but I think you were having a bit of a hangover from maybe a mushroom and DMT overdose the night before.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
I'm
The
I'm just asking, but I respect a man that knows how to go too far.
I yeah, that I mean that's what I do best. I've been sober for almost 17 years.
Meaning not drinking.
Yeah, if you look up, I mean, this is one of the things where I always fight with people in AA because they're like, "Oh, you're not sober unless you're going to meetings." And I'm like, "Well, I'm a writer. My higher authority is the fucking OED. You look up sober, it says abstaining from alcohol. I am
Yeah.
sober. I've been continuously sober for nearly 17 years. The other, my other rejoinder to those people is how many fucking DMT addicts do you
Come
know?
on,
Or
none.
like,
Oh,
how
well,
many people do you see on the street strung out, like begging you for another hit of
How
shrooms?
many people do you even know have done DMT? Not even that many. When it's
Yeah.
out there, should be done. Should
well,
be.
Yeah.
out of the psychedelics, I mean, actually, I've talked to JT about this. The really going in the hole of salvia, the hitting a home run with salvia. That's one I don't want to go back to. That was terrifying. But you're right. I mean, you don't see psychedelic addicts, although some people are. I guess Hoffman, he did it a lot, and until the age of
Alfred or
95.
Mike Hoffman.
Well, well, maybe both. No,
It's a
no,
friend of
no,
ours who is the most psychedelic person we know,
no,
with or without psychedelics. But
but
talk about Alfred.
well, so it's no, but let me ask you, Mishka. I mean, in AA, I've heard because I don't go to AA, but I've heard some of my AA friends talk about this that people will put psychedelics in their own category, and as you're saying,
I think
and do
they're
not
curative.
don't consider that anything to do with narcotics, alcohol, or whatever they're in for. But I think you're right about that personally.
I haven't met a lot of people in AA who are sort of giving people a pass for doing mushrooms and stuff like that. I totally agree with what Lydia said, is that like I think mushrooms and DMT are a powerful anti-addiction medication. So
Hmm.
I've stumped for them, and I smoke DMT like twice a year, and it's a
Oh,
good sort
nice.
of like pipe cleaner for my brain,
Yeah, they
just
call
to
it
like,
plumbing, brain
yeah,
plumbing.
just to fucking get all that
Plus, it's a
shit out.
quickie. It's a quickie, which is good.
But it's
I
also
love it.
completely disassociative. I mean, it takes you.
Yeah.
Well, and by the way, that it is manufactured somewhere in the recesses of our brain that we can't access unless we do some, I think it can be a curative.
Well, Ibogaine saved my friend's life. He claims. Yeah,
I,
he was a full-on heroin junkie,
I
and
think ayahuasca saved a lot of people's lives.
well, Ibogaine, of course, is really terrifying. I've
Yeah.
never done it. But he claimed he even shot up a month later, and the receptors in his brain, which some people claim it actually, couldn't even get high. So not only did he
Oh,
like, not only did he come to the conclusion like, hey, this insane, awful universe is actually a paradise, and he's in a utopian state for 6 months. Actually, opiates themselves did not work on him.
Well, and
And
Ibogaine, which really it was the yippies that made it brought it to attention, but just silently shut down. Like because anything that can cure addiction, well, that's not what the high pharma drug dealers want anyway. Brought into the picture.
where's the money to be made in curing addiction, right?
Hello.
right.
They
Well,
want repeat business.
and that's what anti-vaxxers don't get. One and done is not really very profitable compared to a lifetime of pills.
Yeah.
Mishka, what made you decide to go sober? Was there a hard moment, or was
How
there
many
just like,
hard moments?
no? Was it an accumulative, just exhausted with the whole experience, or what was it?
Well, I've written about my sobriety, and so now I've sort of become a student of all those recovery narratives. And one of the staples of those narratives is that the poor alcoholic has a rock bottom, and then they make a change. And that was never that didn't happen. I had rock bottom after rock bottom, man, and that's just how I live,
Because you're kind of
And
a rock star in
but
that sense, like a rock bottom star.
yeah, but the band I was playing bass with was flying back from a tour in Europe, and
What band was that?
a band called Fresh Kills, um,
Nice name. Yeah,
and and I feel like we probably know like six people in common between that band and
yeah.
you.
We'll get
Um,
into that. Yeah.
but we were coming back from this tour, and it was like unlimited red wine. So all my
Huh.
bandmates had like two or three glasses and then went to sleep. And then the steward or the airline attendants were like trying to go to sleep, and I was still getting up and being with like four glasses to be like, oh, the boys need another round, and then drinking them all myself. And I just couldn't get to that point where my brain would shut off,
Yeah.
where the red light goes off and the blue light comes on. And I had this epiphany that for most people their epiphany is that alcohol is going to kill them. I had this epiphany that it was never going to kill me. That I was just going to keep living. I was just going to be a fucking bar back for the rest of my life. And that I would just get sort of smaller and grayer, and my life would get more defeated and more claustrophobic until finally, when I died, it would feel like a release. And the living death of being a fucking alcoholic scared me more than death.
That's that's a great way of putting it. Okay, it's
And
great. That's that's great because it does take people to like fall asleep on their arm, get gangrene, and almost have it chopped off, or any number of various like totally hideous propositions before they, and if they ever can, just stop. And it's interesting to me, having lived with a few alcoholics, and alcohol doesn't really work that it doesn't do its magic on me that often. So it's interesting the different types of alcoholism, like a beer head, a wine head, a whiskey head, and the effect it has on people, whether it's a Jekyll and Hyde or whether it's a happy drunk or whether it's just misery all around. It's very unique in that sense because other drugs, you're like, okay, heroin addict, you pretty much know kind of what the path that goes down. With alcohol, it's very individual to each person, but it's still a nightmare.
it is absolutely, and I try not to fucking lecture people about it. I mean, I know for myself that the life that I have now would fly away from me in 6 months if I had like a fucking Coors Light. And also, like, JT should keep drinking. He's good at it.
Exactly.
He's
Not
like,
only is he
I'm,
good at it, he's a master of transporting minis when he's flying. I like that
yeah.
in a man. I have a few of those leftover minis just in case, just in case.
So
It's like, yeah, you can take 10 minis. You might not be able to take a pint or a fifth, but you can take 10 minis of alcohol. Plus, I've never seen him drunk, but I see him drink. He's never gonna be
Exactly,
drunk, but
exactly.
he's be drunk. Yeah.
How long did you continue to work in bars after you went sober?
So I was working at a beauty bar on 14th
I
Street,
know it.
3 weeks after I got sober. And then I kept working there until I started publishing through Amazon. And then when my first story went up on Amazon, I'd
This
hoped
is
to
when you had
make,
your Kindle hits. You had
yes,
like
yeah,
Kindle hits,
yeah.
Kindle
And
single hits. Amazing.
I I had hoped to make 500 bucks, and my first royalty check was like 6,500. And
Oh,
so
Whoa.
you must have
I
been dancing an Irish jig without Jameson in your hand.
I walked into a beauty bar and I walked up to Mike Stewart, the owner, and I was like, "Yo, Mike, I quit." And he was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Look at this check, bro." And he was like, "Fuck it, I'll quit too, man." And he was super supportive. He saw that like a bar job is a way station to
Oh,
doing
it's
something
just
else.
terrible. Yeah, I mean,
Did
people have
you
to do it. But by the
did
way,
you
I
have a
love the story that you sent me about working at Don Hill's and meeting Robert Lund, and who was married to Zoe Lund, who, Bad Lieutenant, one of my and yours and Tim's favorite films. Well, you
Yeah.
said number one for you was The Wizard of Oz. I mean, if only we could go to the Sphere in Las Vegas and see it. Have you seen that? That looks friggin' amazing. But am I Dorothy or the Witch? I mean, I don't know. Whatever. Like, I can play all parts.
No, I wanted to know though, this Kindle hit, was it obviously you put the effort in and you were writing, but did you hire a publicist or was this just like kind of luck of the draw?
Oh,
Like how did it catch
okay.
on?
I mean, at the time, like, shortly, I had no money. The shortly before, um, before I got sober, I was not just unemployed, but unemployable. And like, so I was like, I had a car, I had a $500 Dodge Neon I bought off a friend. So I would go and pick up shit off the free section on Craigslist and then resell it for like 40 bucks or whatever.
Well, that's
Whoa.
So I
wise.
had,
That's
uh,
wise.
I really had sort of no assets and no income. But what I did have is, fortunately, I had a lot of people around me who had been waiting for me to get my shit together for a long time. People who were super supportive, and also that was, it's a confluence of a lot of things because that was whatever 2009, before the internet just fucking sucked. And before you had to pay for, to promote anything on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that. So I was I was fucking annoying as shit as soon as the first story came out and just pestered every single one of my friends to buy it and to write a review on
How
Amazon.
much did it cost at that time to buy a Kindle story?
Maybe 30 bucks.
Wow.
I didn't have one. I went out and bought one after that first check cleared because I was like, I feel like I should,
For yourself.
yeah, yeah, I should figure out how this thing actually
Now,
works.
when you were in this lubricated haze, we'll call it, because you'd been touring for a long time with various people. I mean, not only with comedians, but with bands. I mean, you played with the Strokes, the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, the Decemberists, Doug Stanhope, J.T. Habersat, other comedians. Like, how did that all come about? And
Well, I
was that when you were lubricated and
oh yeah. Yeah, it's when I was 21, I moved to New York with $300 and lived off of hot dogs at Mike's Papaya. and and I had no faith in myself as a writer or as a songwriter.
but you had been writing and you had been writing music. And what about,
Yes,
hang on, let's go back for a minute. What about at 7 years old? You win like a storytelling award. What?
the you know that was all sort of so far in the rear view that
Of course.
and
Where
and
were
I
you living?
Can't live
Where
on that.
where were you living?
I was
Did
living in
you?
Denver before I moved
Okay.
to
No,
New
when you were
York.
seven though, when you were seven, when you got
Oh, when
this.
I was 7, I was living in like rural Canada. There was not a lot of competition there, you
Oh,
know.
okay.
Did you ever enter a spelling bee?
I did. I did. I got second
Yeah,
place.
okay. I pulled that one out from under your hat. Trust the witch,
I was
honey.
terrible at that.
You better keep that hat on
I
tight
was
because I
always
might pull
I
for
was like
both
second to
again.
last place every time with that shit. I was so bad. Like
So
I'd fail
you
out the
moved
first letter, like K, C. No, but anyhow.
I love misspelling. I do it all the time. But so you moved in here at 21, yeah, and you're hound dog. And where'd you move to?
My stepbrother had a one-room apartment on the Upper West Side, which he still has. This
Oh,
was like from
amazing.
like
Golden, golden, even if
98
it's
till
one room.
now. And he was paying $622, which is what he's still paying. And so the
I'm
two of
not
us lived.
living there or living there. Is he still
He's living
living?
there. Yeah. Um,
Genius.
and yeah, it's wild. I mean, when I was back there over the summer, I went and hung out with him in that room, and I was like, "Holy fuck, this is like so bizarre." But yeah, I lived there, and I got a job working in the doing order entry in the women's apparel department of Bergdorf Goodman, which
Whoa.
which
You must
was
have been
just
looking
like
good at that
I-
time to
I-
get that
Is
job.
that
Pay
where
your
Trump?
way.
Is that where Trump raped the?
No, it was Bloomingdale's, like Bloomingdale's.
okay.
It
I worked
was.
at Bloomingdale's too.
All right.
The
Was it
but it
Bloomingdale's? Okay.
but it was very much like that Dave Chappelle skit of like the black Klan member. Because I was like, I had no fucking money. I had zero interest in fashion or retail or whatever.
Women's
It was
clothes
I
must
could
go.
type fast. That was my skill. So that's how I got in there. And I was there for whatever 6 or 8 months. And when I quit, they were like, "You have a future here." And I was like, "I fucking don't. I fucking don't."
But you're the best typist we've ever had. I think I
Yeah,
need to go home and type my own stories, motherfuckers. Thank you very much.
yeah. It
So,
was.
good. Yeah, good.
It was a gig. It got me rolling until the next thing. And the next thing was that I got like a small scholarship to take one class at Columbia that went to me applying there. And my drinking was bad enough at that point that I was like, I'm going to apply to the best writing program in the world. And if I don't get in, then I'll go to rehab. And I got in.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
I
well,
should have gone
great.
to rehab,
Did
but
good. Cool.
yeah, yeah. So then, then I was like playing bass in a band, going to school full time and doing just sort of like whatever fucking side hustles I could, you know.
What years were those?
That was like late 90s, early
Yeah.
2000s.
Okay.
And that's like when I shared the stage with the Strokes. They got their big break opening
Okay.
up for my band at Dawn Hills.
For your
And
band. Okay. All
yeah,
right.
I
never,
forgot about Don Hills. Actually, I just read your whole story, but I totally forgot about it. Actually.
Well, I sent it to you, Tim, but I
Yeah,
sent
I
it to
read
you
it.
like
I
10
read it. I
minutes
read it.
ago.
No, I read it. I read it.
It's great.
it's funny, because like one of the expectations for an alcoholic is that they'll be like completely alienated from, that there's a barricade between you and your past. I'm grateful to be sober, and I'm also grateful to have been a fucking fall down alcoholic for a long time, because before it turned into a fucking nightmare, it was fun as shit. I got to do a lot of like crazy dumb stuff, and it taught me about weakness. It taught me empathy for other people, because when I was like 13, I was like a fucking social Darwinist, and now when I see people sleeping under a bridge, I recognize that
It
they're
could have
living
been
the
you.
grace. Yeah,
That it could have
exactly.
been. Yeah.
So I
And
mean, now that you teach at Yale, sometimes I mean that's the birthplace of social Darwinism. You kind of go in there. No, literally, it is. Where you
is
kind of
it
like,
really?
no, that's where that started. Yes, for sure.
But
Anyway,
I'm going to talk to you about that class you teach because I think you need to get me in there because I teach from the page to the stage. So you write, how do you perform it? So I've teach that about 20 times in different countries and different cities. Mostly I try to do it for women only because not enough female voices on stage, but I'm not that
Yeah,
prejudiced. I will have men in the class. We'll talk about that later, but because you teach them how to open up and spill their guts on the page. I get in there and then teach them how to open their fucking mouths, understand how to work the mic, and be bold and shut that shit out. Must be.
I can't imagine anyone more qualified to do that than you.
Well,
That's one of the things that where you really have been a fucking bright light throughout your career. Um, to
hey,
advocate for yourself and for other women and be fucking loud and force them to shut you up. That's in my
hasn't been
writing
done
work.
yet. Can't be done.
well,
It
actually, I will right now. It was Bergdorf Goodman that the rape happened. But anyway,
oh, okay. All right.
anyway,
Well, thank you for saying that, Mishka, because I ain't stopping and you're not stopping, and that's it. So, when you were opening for those bands before mentioned, you were doing it with your band.
I was doing it with a band that I was playing in, so I
Okay.
wasn't writing anything. I was like the fucking lurking drunk bass player, you
Okay.
know?
When did
And
you really come into your own? Because look, driving with JT and he'd put on some of your stuff, and I just be like laughing, almost crying, and going, "This is the real shit." Because it's not musical comedy. It's just sometimes so hardcore that it is funny because we've all been, most of us have been there before. And back to pain management, I played it last night for Matt Nelson, who plays sax with us. I'm like, you got to hear that first line again. How do I, we got to hear this again? So, no, you have turned the mastery of, I mean, forward in the life that could have ended in the gutter under the bridge. We could add a double wide under there at one point to applying it in the best way possible. And the music is fucking great. It's not like musical comedy. It's just sometimes it's funny as shit. Other times it's very Towns Van Zandt. Just say it.
thank you so much for saying that. I feel like there's always this division in American art between highbrow and lowbrow and serious and funny, and it's
That's where
fucking
we
bullshit.
reside. That's where we
It's
are.
yeah, and that division is totally fake. And I mean, how many times have we like cracked up at funerals? I mean, that's like fairly well documented. That some a lot of times we're like crying through laughter,
Well,
and
absolutely.
Exactly.
Everyone filters this planet any way they want, as long as if it's healing in some ways. And I can't believe people are so pure and rigid about that, and they insist there's only one avenue to filter or handle any of
Well,
these things. It's kind of infuriating.
well, also, I mean, I want to tell you about this. Like, I think I'm funny as fuck. Most people think my punchlines might be a punch in the face if they laughed. It's like recently I wrote this Dear Ivanka piece. I never had more laughter in my life. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Darwin? I'm going to send it to you. And I'm like, finally. I mean, I think I'm funny, but
I
I
do
don't have
too.
the same comedic timing because I'm relentless.
I think Bad Lieutenant's funny. I was talking to JT about this. Like,
Hello.
if you put laugh tracks on that, the original Bad Lieutenant, of course,
By the way,
it's maybe one
Tim,
of the greatest comedies of all time. Just like
Tim,
the first half of Full Metal Jacket, same thing.
am I not like the Joe Pesci of No Wave?
I would say you are. I would say you are.
I'm
I'd
like
say
the
you are.
Joe Pesci of fucking No Wave, man. Were you
You,
talking to me? Are you fucking looking at me?
now we're
I think
talking.
I'm a fucking clown. I'll take you to my circus. We'll settle it right there, three ring or not. I don't care. I think I'm fucking funny. Hello. But
this
and I think you're serious. You see?
yeah,
I think you're serious.
this is one of the things though, is that I think you and I have been pushing back on the same force in different ways, right? That women are supposed to be clean and quiet and tidy and polite, and you're pushing back against
Oh,
that.
hell to
And
the no-no. Yeah.
and what I'm pushing back is against is the guy screaming in your face, fucking berating you. And what I'm saying is, you hurt my fucking feelings. Like, uh,
Well, and also, I'm a huge fan, of course, of Jerry Stahl, and I'm going to just pimp his Substack right now because he's somebody too that's so tragic and hilarious at the same time. I kind of put him in our same coven here. Like,
yeah, yeah.
so tragic it's hilarious, or so hilarious it's tragic. Just one of my favorite writers. Absolutely.
That's one of the things too that where life as an alcoholic teaches you both a sense of despair and a sense of humor. The like, um, the throwing up on yourself, shit like just humiliating shit like that. And it made me realize that the um it's like God and the devil sit at the same table, right? Tragedy
Exactly.
and comedy sit at the same table. It's when somebody else throws up on themselves, it's fucking hilarious to me. When it's me, it's tragedy,
It's,
and
And it's with distance from it.
yeah.
Can you laugh at yourself? The further you get away from those moments, can you look back and laugh about a lot of those?
I mean, I laugh about a lot of it. I mean, I also look back and a lot of the guy I was, and some of the shit that I did, and some of the shit that I said, and I'm fucking appalled. I spent Christmas with my older sister and her kids, and
this year. This year.
yeah,
Okay.
and I recall some of the things that I said to my sister when I was like 15, and I just want to like punch myself in the face,
But she's moved on, I assume.
But you
Oh yeah.
can't
If you just spent
go ahead and
Christmas with her.
punch yourself in the fucking face, but it ain't going to change anything. So why bother?
Yes,
I'll punch you if
absolutely.
you need it, but
Hey,
I've been known to cure people with a punch.
I want to get back to
Trust me.
this Kindle success. So
Yeah.
you harass your friends to buy it and write a review. Did it somehow go viral and then someone who you don't know at all got a hold of it and gave it a massive plug, or is it
Because
kind of, or is it a
isn't it always a
granular kind
fluke?
of
Like
a
how do you, it's kind
snowball
of a
effect?
fluke. Anything that hits, it's like, how the fuck did that happen?
Well,
Or why
Well,
didn't it happen? How did it
yeah.
happen?
that's
So, that was one of the things is I was like, well, I'm just going to pester all my friends into buying it, and that's going to be it. But it wasn't. It was like, that first month, it was whatever, 5,000 people who bought it, and I don't know 5,000 people I'm on good terms with. So
Maybe
it wasn't,
5 people, maybe
yeah,
50.
yeah.
Semi good terms.
So
Amazing.
it wasn't just my friends. I think the reviews were crucial. But the other thing was that the piece was called Shipwrecked. It was about getting shipwrecked in 2001. Apparently, not a lot of people do that anymore. And the cover art was it was the kind of design that you would see on like a hit of acid. Like, you know, super recognizable, even super small. And it was just one of those things where it like posed a question of like, what the fuck happened to this guy? And then, people read the story. Apparently, I can write. They told their friends, they shared it on social media and stuff like that, and it started taking on a life of its own. And then, after that, so I got whatever, 12 or 15 grand from that story. And I was like,
Which you
fuck
must
it.
have been dancing like a
Oh,
wild man.
absolutely. But also like I'd had no money for such a long time that I think I went and bought myself like an $80 jean jacket, and
Hello.
that was
Come
my
on.
indulgence. That was my sports
You
car,
gotta treat yourself occasionally. Come on now.
Um, and then the next story that my editor tasked me with writing was the story of how I got sober. And I was like, fuck no, dude, I'm not going to do that because everybody's read all these fucking hack stories about like, oh, and then the sun came out from behind the clouds. And it's not like that, that
No.
I'm sober, but my life still sucks just in a different way. And he was like, that's the story. That's what you're writing right there is just, a gonzo sobriety narrative. And so I worked on that that summer, this
Well,
summer of
what, 2002, 2003?
summer of 2009.
Okay, nine.
And it was so gross and so dark and so ugly and so nihilistic that I was
So
like
fantastic as well.
I was like, this is the end of my new writing career. That I'm just going to fucking alienate everybody with this. But my obligation is not to readers. My obligation is to the truth.
And
And this is
because
the,
it was the truth,
yeah,
it's not pretty. Truth
yeah,
is not fucking pretty, man.
yeah,
Hello. You want pretty? Go to Disney. It ain't
yeah,
us.
yeah.
We ain't here to
And
be pretty.
that story went on to sell like 150,000 copies,
Oh my,
something like
wow.
that. It was
Well done.
fucking
well,
bananas.
fucking,
Well
and
done.
again, like, how the hell? Why not? When? Where? Who? How? It's a mystery. What hits? How it hits? What doesn't hit? Why doesn't it hit? We got no fucking idea because we're not playing the game that most people play in order to promote their bullshit in a corporate cuntish, dickish way. I don't even know if we know how to do that. I don't. I don't
Yeah,
think we do either.
So and so it's also the timing of where the people were on the planet as you're with the internet and technology, as you were saying earlier, right? Because now to get someone to listen to more than 10 seconds of a song, to read more than a headline is harder than ever because people just want this constant flash stimulation. Um, so well done, you got in at that right time,
And
and
how
so
long was this story, by the way? How many pages? How
hold
many
on.
words? I mean, not that I count words ever, but how many? How long?
Lydia, it was like 25 pages. And for the
Oh,
amount of money that I
amazing.
made
So
for
it
it,
was a
fuck it.
quarter of a book.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And I,
now you write one page, as the vice of people's attention span squeezes harder on this planet. Do you write one page pieces or
No, you need to write one sentence pieces now for them to fucking pay attention.
one
That's their
word,
attention
one
span.
word? Yeah.
The
yeah,
word
that's
is
right.
no.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just, I, I try to do what I've always done is just speak the fucking truth, man. Just, just write what you feel and speak the truth. I think that as soon as you start thinking about your audience,
Sure.
the art abandons.
Oh, what audience? And by the way, an audience in front of you live is one thing. I still
Right.
don't think about them. I know
Absolutely.
they're thinking about me. But an audience in the etherverse is like you can't think about them because what if who, where, what the fuck
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah.
Which
I
I like that a lot. It's like I know what I do, and whatever you see and what I do is what you see and what I do. I know my job is to impregnate.
yeah.
Well, my dick is so big. Just
I thought I felt something rubbing up against my
Whoa,
leg
look out, look
yeah,
out.
honey, if I was teabagging you, you'd know it.
Did you
The,
did you relapse ever in the
um,
last?
no, I've never relapsed.
On alcohol, which is great because
Yeah.
it's not the fucking
I mean,
thing for you.
well, it's also statistically rare, so that's impressive.
Yeah. I that being said, and I'm like fucking open and honest about this. In the last 17 years, I fucking smoked weed. I think I did a bump of coke with JT on the road during COVID. I definitely went down the fucking well with ketamine and got myself into trouble with that. So like my sobriety has not been perfect. And
I
hey,
think it's
guess
called
what?
California sober. I'm not sure.
I hate that shit so much.
It's
Like fucking
ridiculous.
Californians have
But
taken
you
a
know
nut.
what? Whatever you want, whatever the individual has a capacity to maintain without being a fucked up asshole on, I think they should be allowed. But the problem is when you become an annoying fucked up asshole, or you can't do what you're supposed to do, when what it once was is not what it becomes, is when you got to change your fucking pattern here. So, and I think that's why. And being addicted to alcohol, some people might say, well, an addict is an addict. I don't believe that. I think there are addictive genes. I think there are people that can go in and go out of whatever they want, and nobody can tell us otherwise. So I've always wanted to go into the K-hole. I tried, but I failed. They just wouldn't let me in. I'm like knocking on K-hole doors, like, get the fuck out of here. Maybe I am the K-hole. Hell yeah. Come inside. You can go real deep. I'm just saying.
The horrible thing about addiction is that it's not it's not
A
like
choice.
it's not well it's not like you have TB where they know how to fucking treat it because it's as individual as we are.
Yeah.
And if again, why not pick on JT? If I drank the way that JT drank, I'd be fucking coming apart.
He's a
And
sturdy young fellow, he is. He's a
yeah,
sturdy young fellow. Although
but
I
but
did see him with a tissue up his nose on an occasion or two, like, a little pink on
he's
the end.
Yeah, he's had some pretty fountainous road nosebleeds when I've been out with him. He got a nosebleed on stage that was like
Nice. Oh,
going,
that's awesome.
and yeah,
Well, the Denver air is very high and dry, so you never know. And I know his excuse was last time I was in Denver, it just dried me out until I started bleeding. I thought, well, maybe if it dried you out, well, you wouldn't bleed. Let's just review that concept and don't mess with me. I'd like a man with, well, I don't mind a bloody nose, but a tissue, yeah, turn the other way, please.
that you should have just handed him a tampon. Those things are super fucking
Yeah,
absorbent.
I don't have,
Pop
I
them
haven't
right
had to
up.
use one of those in about 30 years. So where am I going to get one? Just carry one around for him in case. The way I carry nuts in my pocket in case I see a squirrel, I got a tampon just in case.
Just tuck one behind your ear like a pencil.
Maybe I could just stick a pencil up his nose. That'd be a good one.
There we go.
That's too thin. That ain't gonna work.
Magic
Anyway,
marker, magic marker.
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
my pinky finger. That'll stop it. He'll never want to bleed again, that bitch. I'm just saying.
Well, that
Get
that
that
pinky
pinky up
nail
there.
may have been what was making his nosebleed after all.
He didn't realize while he was sleeping. I mean, he knows I'm a creep. He just doesn't know how stealth I am as a creep. Maybe I was just up there picking until he bled and he woke up pillow red. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm taking a glass of water.
How many? So what's your daily routine look like? I mean, are you waking up first thing in the morning, you start writing, or is it all over the
No,
place?
I mean that's one of the reasons why I think I was like nervous to do this podcast with Lydia is
Ah,
because I don't live as an artist every day anymore. That I have a dog who I love and spend far too much time with, and far too much
You ever
attention.
tell the dog your stories? Because often when I'm teaching my workshops, I'm like, you got to read this shit out loud, even if it's to your cat or dog. They may grow to hate you, but you got to read it out loud. You ever tell your dog your stories?
I haven't, but it's funny because I tell people that same shit, that before you publish anything, you have to read it out loud. I told that to Mark fucking Lanigan and he didn't listen to me. And then when he was going back and doing the audiobook, he was like, "Oh my God, we should have caught all this shit." And I'm like, "Yeah, bro."
And you
Like
did you help him with his book?
I did.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of his, and
And
I
he had
basically
the kitty litter voice himself, let's face it.
the it's funny because the way my whole association with Lanigan happened was I wrote a piece about him that I read at an or like a open mic in New York, and my friend Zach Lopez brought me up, and he said he's got a voice like Mark Lanigan, 10 years in the grave. Give it up for Mishka Shubaly. And I was like, bro, I'm reading about fucking Mark Lanigan. And
And the
then
piece that you sent me that was like kind of the obituary was so beautiful, I have to say. That was a really beautiful piece. Thank you for that.
thank
Really,
you. I
really, really beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
his death fucking ruined me, and it still ruins me. But
But you have me now.
I
I'm
do.
not the same thing, but hey, can't say I can fill his boots, but probably smell better than he did. Honestly.
The
I got the kid a litter. I did cover one of his songs. I'm just trying to get cozy.
um one of the thing, there's fucking dark and light and balance and all these things, and any day where I'm like heartbroken and missing him, because he ended up being a tremendous friend to me in the end too. The I have to flip it and think, how fucking lucky am I to have walked this earth with
Yeah.
that legend? I was a super fan. I tweeted him. He was like, "Let's do this book together," and like
Perfect.
so
Right.
I got to become, really tight with one of my heroes and work on something that's part of his legacy now.
And that's
It's like,
fantastic. But also, I want to go back to what you just said because it's what I tell people all the time. It's like we don't cry for the dead. We cry for ourselves because we're greedy and we want more. But if we can go back and just, as you were saying, and realize joyously how much we had with that person instead of like me, want more, want more. No. How much more do you expect to have? I don't care how long or short anybody lives. You had that experience. You have
yeah,
got to take it in and you have got to rejoice in that because if you're crying for the dead, you're just a greedy little cunt. Sorry
yeah,
to say it,
yeah.
but it's true.
And I mean, and I
People
am.
die all the time. I'm
But
surprised more
but
people don't
also,
die.
seeing on seeing people post about Lanigan and like, oh, I can't believe there's not going to be another record coming out. It's like, fucking, do you know how many records that guy put
And
out?
no,
Like,
they probably
what?
don't. Right.
How? Yeah, exactly. They know like four records, and it's like, how much more do we need to strip out of that man? He lived 400 years in his 57 years on
Fully
this earth,
lived fully.
Yeah. And
And great material. And the book is great. And by the way, who even thought he'd live that fucking long? Come
I
on.
know, I know
Come on now. Let's be serious here. He could
that
have
was
died
the
at 27, like a couple of other people we know in rock's history, but he didn't die at 57. What more
yeah,
do you fucking want? Leave the ghost alone.
exactly. Let him rest. Let him rest. He did his work.
Not that he's paying attention beyond the grave, but you know what I like to tell people that, oh, I'm so suicidal. I'm like, you die a dumb death, I will haunt your fucking ghost. How about if I turn that around? They get really scared. I'm like, I'm gonna haunt your ghost. They're like, okay, I'm fine. Yeah.
if
But you
if
want
there
to die.
was
You want to die, I will help you. Don't die a dumb death.
that sage words right there. We all have to die. We all hope for a good death and fucking do
I'm here
anything
to
we
help.
can to.
I'm here to
I
help.
I've like almost been hit by a fucking ice cream truck when I was shit faced. That's an idiotic death.
Here is another connective tissue between you and I because I do feel when I was nomading in Greenpoint, I was being stalked by an ice cream truck. Now, I don't know if he wanted to kill me or kidnap me, but it didn't matter. I
or
don't
or
like
was it the
Mr. Softies.
was it the possessed inanimate Mr. Softy little statue face. Is it that thing that was attacking you? I hope so. That would,
I don't like a Mr. Softy.
well, I mean, a possessed ice cream truck is actually not the moving vehicle; it's the bacteria in those
Exactly.
non-clean fucking soft
Look, it's not like I'm
machines.
afraid of clowns or ice cream trucks. Keep your bacteria to yourself. Thank you.
Are there ice cream trucks in Colorado?
I'm in Arizona now,
Oh,
but
you're in
I'll tell
Arizona.
you
Okay.
what, 10 years after leaving New York, I would fucking, if there a New York ice cream truck
You would
rolled
be
up,
the first one in line.
absolutely.
What
Whoa!
would
All
you
right.
get, a vanilla or chocolate, or would you just kiss the ice cream? The
I
ice
would,
cream.
I would get the strawberry popsicle like a fucking man.
Oh, are you talking about like the strawberry shortcake kind of?
Yeah. The bread,
Okay,
the
the
roast
breaded thing.
breaded one.
Okay, okay.
All right, now
Yeah.
speaking of strawberry shortcake, I have to say, yesterday I made a strawberry cornbread, and it was
I
delicious.
had some. I liked it. Yeah.
That
It
sounds
was no,
amazing.
you had just the plain strawberry stuff. The remainder
Oh, the
of the
cornbread.
strawberry
Okay.
you had, I then applied into a cornbread, and it was delicious.
If we end up
You can
doing
eat
this
my
cover
strawberry
together,
cornbread anytime. Mishka, I'm inviting you. Go
if
ahead.
if we end up doing this cover together, that's what I want. I want to be paid in strawberry cornbread. That sounds
Oh,
wonderful.
what's your favorite pie?
When I was a kid, it was lemon meringue, and I like it.
Oh,
Jim likes
my
that. I
brother.
don't.
No. I like the key lime. My brother likes the
Okay,
key
yeah.
lime. Yeah.
Well, I feel like there's a parabola of lemon meringue experience that you love it when you're a kid and you love it when you're about to die.
Okay,
Like,
so I love
Yeah, exactly. My grandmother would make it. So it's like old people and little kids.
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
lemon on everything, mashed potatoes, meat, but I don't like a lemon dessert or a limoncello. But I do make
Not
one.
even an Italian ice, not a lemon ice.
No, I know because I like a real fresh lemon squeezed on everything, even
Good
my
one.
tongue occasionally. But I do make a badass pumpkin pie crustless.
That's probably my favorite pie as an adult.
Nice.
Oh, I just pulled that out from under your head again. You see what
Yeah.
Where in Arizona are you?
I'm in Phoenix,
Oh, you're in Phoenix. Okay. So,
which
well, yeah.
it's exactly as bad as you imagine it to be.
Well, my cousin lives there, and I have stories. Although you
Fucking,
supposedly
how
have
do
a
you live in such heat?
We bail every summer now. We
that's
sort of just
wise.
I was on tour for 5 months, and then Phoenix is sort of where the wagon broke down, and now I live here. And yeah, I feel like I lost a bet in some ways, but also like my mom and my sister live down the street. One of my closest friends lives across the street. We built a little bit of community here. Um, but yeah,
Got a place for me in case?
maybe.
I see a big cabinet behind you. I mean, I can
But,
sleep standing up
but
sometimes.
Mishka, Phoenix kind of reminds me of Edmonton, except for different seasons. Like Edmonton in the winter or Phoenix in the summer, they're ghost houses. Everyone's indoors. It's like, what's even a
Are
ghost?
you Canadian?
No, but I've toured Canada.
I'm
Many
half
times.
Canadian.
I
Are you
played
Canadian?
Edmonton. I
You're
played
Canadian.
Edmonton. It was like minus. This is when I learned that minus 40 Celsius is the same as minus 40 Fahrenheit, which
Yes.
is counterintuitive,
Oh my God.
but it actually is.
Uh,
It's the exact
Misha,
same
you're
number.
Canadian?
I am Canadian as fuck. I have
I'm
never
half
been
Canadian. My father was Canadian.
Oh, wow.
Which province or territory did you grow up in?
I was born in Northern Ontario.
Oh, okay.
My father came from Kitchener,
Nor-
Ontario.
Okay.
Are we
Northern
related?
Ontario is cold as fuck. So you played
Might
hockey
be
growing up?
related.
Yeah. I did. I mean, we were only there until I was 8, but
Which
my mom
town?
comes from a family of 17 children in
Wow.
Saskatchewan. Her father
What,
came from
Saskatoon? Saskatoon?
no. I mean, like not even a fucking bus stop. It's called Makwa. It's like
Okay.
a crossroads.
I gotta look at this.
So were they
And
riding the young kids as like miniature donkeys to get somewhere? There's no bus.
they
They're riding the
all
kid.
they all slept in a lean-to on the side of this farmhouse. And then when the kids finally got moved inside, it was like Charlie Bucket's grandparents in Willy Wonka, where there was two at one end and two at the other end.
God.
Just, I
How
mean,
many
really,
kids
like
did your mother have?
my mom had three of
That's
us.
enough. More than
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, exactly.
Jeez, can you? I mean, look, my theory is always it don't fit in, it don't come out. 17
I
baby
mean,
heads, it ain't gonna happen.
I'm looking at Makwa now. Talk about fucking far up there. And
Yeah.
holy shit. Yeah. Because that's still like a few hours northwest of Saskatoon. No
Yeah,
joke.
yeah. I mean, a brutal place to live, a brutal place to raise children.
Well, and you kind of need 17 kids just because you need
That's your workforce.
you need a factory, exactly.
The
Yeah, yeah.
last thing I fucking need is one kid, much less 17. Speak for yourself. Now, let me ask you this. So now I don't know what the temperature is in Phoenix. I'm boiling in my house, even though it's about 25 degrees outside, but that don't matter. I'm always hot. How often are you touring? Are you going to tour this new record? Is this what is it? So you said it might be No One Wins. This
Yeah, I think it's going to be called Nobody Wins.
Nobody wins. I like it.
The
It's up on Bandcamp now or not, or is it just private? You send it to me
No,
private.
no, that's just stuff I said
Okay,
to you.
thank you. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Oh, awesome, awesome. I don't know. I really was fucking road dogging it hard. Like JT and I were
Yeah.
always trying to outdo each other as who toured, did the most amount of shows in a year. And
Well, and
then
because you know what, we're road dogs. It's what we got to do at a certain point, and then you got to, that you just got to do it at certain points.
what and that's the thing is that it was definitely something that I had to do, and then COVID sort of retired me, or I lost my passion for it. I just found that I really I don't know if you remember this, Lydia. We met once briefly in Phoenix when we did a show together, and I was bitching about coming back from Europe, and I was like, oh, I'm jet lagged. And you turned to me and you said, kid, I am jet lag.
Oh, well, that is one of my mantras, but no, I don't remember anyway. Were we performing together?
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
mean,
opened up for you. Kid
with
Congo
music
was
or spoken,
DJ.
or when Kid Gaga was playing the theme track from Virginia Wolf.
Probably,
What
yeah.
what venue or what?
I don't remember
I,
what venue
no,
it was.
no, but I know that gal has brought me to Phoenix a few times, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, no, I don't remember that, but yeah, kid, I am. I get
Well,
you.
although I've never seen Lydia jet lagged.
I'm a fembot. There's a lot of things I don't get.
Well, it was an awesome moment because by that point I'd like been on the road a shitload and was playing with a ton of like sort of smaller artists and had worshipful fans at my shows in the UK. And then meeting Lydia and doing that show, I was like, I'm just a kid, man. I'm just starting out. Like fucking this is the alpha dog here, and
Wow, 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 yippee yo, yippee yay. What's interesting about that show is the book I was selling at the time. Some dude came up to me and said, I'm Clayton's father. Clay, who I took a picture of and was in the book I was selling, had died, no, had offed himself because he was, from a very young age, a very good manufacturer of incredible ecstasy, which he sold to Malibu psychologists and psychiatrists. And he was also slated to become one of the top Alzheimer's investigators. Like the top doctor of Alzheimer's gave him brain plaque to investigate. Somebody broke into his house, stole it, thinking it was drugs, and snorted Alzheimer's brain.
Oh God.
Anyway, he was never
that's
spoke,
amazing.
never spoke. And also, I mean, another great story is he had liquid acid in a vodka bottle, and his mother drank it and had to go to the hospital. Well, she shouldn't have been there anyway.
Oh boy.
Anyway, he never
Oh
spoke,
boy.
but we had psychic communication. His shit was like you saw in triplicate. It was that good. And his father, who was just there at my show, at our show, and he said, I'm Clayton's father. And I'm like, here's a picture of him in the book I'm selling, which was just bizarro. That was that show. While Kid Congo spun the soundtrack to Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, one of my favorite films ever.
That is a perfect illustration of what life is like on the road because there's the punishers, like the people who will come up and like grab onto your hand and then not fucking let go and just have you cornered and you're like, yo, I gotta sell t-shirts, I gotta sell vinyl, like wrap it up. And then there's people who have connections to different points in your life, that
Mysterious.
and
Yeah.
one of the things that happened to me when I first went on the road after I'd gotten sober is people who I knew from my using life would come to my shows and be like, do you remember me?
No, and nobody
And
should ever ask you if you remember. They should always put it this way, because anybody who ever asks me that, I'm like, no, I don't. Why don't you say, I remember when we met so and so? I'm like, no, I'm not going to remember. I could have met you 2 weeks ago. If you're not in the same place, I'm not going to fucking remember you at all. I always tell people, don't ever say that because we are not going to remember them.
Yeah,
Maybe
there's just
Tim
too
Noel,
many
he's got an
faces.
immaculate, Tim Noel has an immaculate memory, but no, don't ever ask that to anybody who's on tour.
But so I had this guy come up to me and he was like, "Do you remember me?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "You threw plates off the top of my house." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, I
That
don't remember
guy,
you, but I remember that night."
I
I'm
remember the
like,
house.
"I'm
Rick
so
Rivers.
sorry." And he was like, "It's cool, man. I know that you made a lot of changes and I just wanted, I felt so fucking embarrassed, just like, oh
Well,
God. But that kept happening to me
I,
when I was on the road.
I think you have admitted in many forms, including right now, you, like all of us, have done things that could be considered embarrassing. But that was then. This is now. I can't even imagine. First of all, I've never felt embarrassed once in my life. Not that I might not have done embarrassing things according to other people. There's a lot of things I don't feel. Embarrassment, never felt it. Insecurity, never felt it. Guilty, never felt. I'm a fembot. I'm just made that way. I'm just a fembot. Not saying I haven't done many things I should feel guilty for, that I should be embarrassed. That I've never felt humiliated. I never felt insecure. I think I'm just an emotional. I'm just a fembot, and
Is
I
is
wish
throwing
more.
Yeah,
plate is
I wish
throwing
more
plates
people
off the
were
roof
like me. What, Tim?
is throwing plates off the roof embarrassing?
I think it's joyous.
uh, in this context, yeah, it was not good. It's funny, Lydia, because I'm the complete opposite. Like I feel pre-gret, like I feel regret for things I haven't yet done.
Whoa, that's
You need to
intuitive.
spend more time with me, son.
We
Maybe
we
I could
might
erase
level
some
each
of
other
that. I
out.
could
So,
maybe reverse some of that.
so is it like a dead zone? You actually have a vision, a premonition of something horrible you potentially could do, and you can change fate. Is what
Yeah,
you're getting
shame
at?
yourself in advance. That's ridiculous.
It's like precognitive guilt, yeah, it's terrible.
I mean, I had to look up some words that relate to emotions in the dictionary. At one point, I'm like, shame, because almost everybody I know has it. I'm like, the fuck is shame? I know, like guilt. I mean, okay, guilt I understand, but I'm like, disgust. I had to look up a lot of these words because so many of my friends have them, which led me to do my documentary, Artist Depression, Anxiety, and Rage, which I do not have other than the rage I'm paid for, but seems like most other people do. And this is why I live to help people get over that bullshit that was put upon, placed inside, genetically deranged within you, and just to try to free yourself from these emotions which are cancer causing, which are time wasting, and which are basically bullshit. And anybody that suffers from it knows they are. So how do we get over it? I guess you got to rub up against me a little bit more, honey. That's all. I could be the
You are.
curative. I could be the curative, or I could be the disease. I'm dis-ease. Never felt unease in my life. I'm weird.
you
Really?
you're free, and
Thank
um
you. Yeah.
that's incredible for someone like me to witness, and also fucking terrifying because I am shame. That's what I'm made of,
That's
shame
why
and
you and
guilt
Jerry
and
Stahl would be
regret.
really good friends. But the thing is, I'm not scary. Now, am I, Tim? But Tim has told me more
Well,
than anybody
depends
I've
on what the circumstances are, and depends who
that
the
I've
other
offered him
person is.
freedom. I always thought he was free.
Well,
I mean,
that's fine, but
I
you can
couldn't
be scary to
terrify.
some people. You can be
I'm
scary to
paid
some
to be
people.
scary. I don't do it in my normal life. You ever see me terrorizing people when I'm not being paid? No.
Not cops,
What?
cops.
I like to watch them cry. Somebody's got to be there on the other side of the nightstick. Come on now.
Yeah.
Uh, we need to spend more time together. I think my son. Maybe we can get rid of some of that, and maybe we just need a little bit of a blood transfusion. You see, I have had a blood transfusion, but I felt this way for a long time. Doesn't matter. I just want people to feel more like I do, which is free. And thank you
You
for saying that.
I am working on it, and I guess that's I quit touring in 2020 21 when everything shut
COVID.
down,
Yeah.
and then since then I got married, and now I'm living the part of my life where I, instead of fucking being up till 2 a.m. every night and in a different fucking dive bar and sleeping in the Red Roof Inn with fucking bullet holes through the curtains.
Or your Toyota.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I go to bed at 9:30 with my
What time do
Whoa.
wife,
you wake up
and
then?
I'm fucking loving it.
What
It's
time do you wake up if you go to bed at 9:30?
I mean, in the summer, I'll get up at 5 or whatever to go
See,
run
don't
with
you
the
love,
dog.
see, I love being up at 3 a.m., at 5 a.m., 7 a.m., waking up, or if I'm still awake. Those are my favorite hours, 3 to 7 a.m. Harry Cruz used to wake up and write at 3 a.m.
That's incredible.
So
Harry Cruz.
your dog also, it sounds like you really love your dog.
Wow, 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 I got to take him out for a walk.
Do you look at your dog when you're taking the dog out for a walk as an expression of freedom also, even though it still probably requires a leash and all that stuff, but it's not really considering anything but just running and enjoying itself.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to try and do a marathon with my dog this year, and then I did research
Whoa.
on it and found
It's not
out that
good for dogs, right?
yeah, that it's too far for dogs. And but I did run 20 miles with her once. You know, I feel like the work that I'm doing right now to try and get myself better is using my dog and my wife as conduits of joy because
Wonderful.
it's that's an emotion that I can't feel on my own. But when I watch my dog like sprint up a fucking cliff, and then when she gets to the top, give
It
an extra
smiles at you,
jump. Yeah,
smiles at you.
and she just springs into the air for joy. I'm like, that's my drug of choice these days. You know, it's just seeing her like revel in that.
How
And
often
And
do you run every day?
um, I'll run like 3 to 5 times a week.
And how
I
many miles at a time usually?
my the short loop with the dog is 3.5 miles. Like I'll do. That's
before
what
it
I'll
gets too
do.
fucking hot when it's 110 degrees in the
Yeah,
summer.
yeah.
But wait,
That's
I want to
that's
go back to what you just said. It's very important. We're gluttons. After a life of extreme gluttony, some for the benefit, some for the deficit of our existence, you have to go back. You have to reduce to the simplest joys, to appreciate the simplest things, light on a fucking wall, a squirrel, a dog smile,
yeah.
a cool breeze. Like until you can go back and deprogram from never enough, not enough, I need more, I want more, until you can deprogram yourself, you will continue to suffer from this void that can never be filled. And to fill the void within, only the self. And maybe the smile of a dog or a cat, or a squirrel doing 7 somersaults, or a peanut in your pocket when you see an albino squirrel, or whatever. Until you can go back to that, you will be miserable. So I get it.
It's true. And like all the things that you described there, I mean, that's like um powerful medicine. You know, the my dog needs one thing in the world to be happy, and that's to be with me. And that's like, and it's one of those things that runs up against my own negative self-image all the time, is where I'm like, I'm really your favorite person in the world. Is that actually true? You really care that much about me? And like each
And
day,
nature is very important, whether it's a dog or a tree or sand or an
yeah,
ocean or nature is extremely important because that is the essence of, before we kill everything, a pure existence.
yeah, that's a big thing for me. The is like I'll go rabbit hunting sometimes and get up there when it's still dark, and to be out in the desert as the sun's coming up, it's just like so fucking good for you. Like I don't know what it is that I'm soaking up, just like life, you know. But I
Soaking up life, exactly, life. Tim is really big on like, I want to say water sports, but what I mean is like scuba diving, he's been many places, not shark hunting, but he's been, scuba diving. But I mean, I feel the same way. If you can't appreciate nature, you're cutting yourself off from what is really a connective tissue to purified life before we kill it all. And with that said, I would just like to say this is the Lydian Spin with Lydia Lunch, Tim Dahl, Mishka. Congratulations for still being alive and existing. And as soon as this new record is out, I have to say I'm going to go listen to Pain Management again right now. And what's your latest, written piece out there?
I haven't been doing a lot of my own writing. I've written all my friends are dying, so it seems like the genre I'm working in right now is like
Obituaries.
obituary. Yeah. So I wrote about my friend Michael Dean Dameron, who, man, if you're into Towns Van Zandt, you already love Mike D. The I'll send you a link to the song of his that I did for that project.
Perfect. And yeah,
But
definitely look, send the music to Waiting Around to Die, because honey, I'm
yeah,
ready. So good to finally really connect on this.
likewise, likewise.
Many blessings, and pet your dog for me. I'd say I'd pet your wife, but she ain't in the room, so give her up one pet for me.
All right.